What's up, YouTube? This is Titan, aka T, if you're following me on social media. In this video, I'm going to go over my overall thoughts on the market, where I think it could potentially go. I'm also going to go over Tesla, and then I'm going to go over a few stocks that I am either looking to trade or that I am currently in and our Discord is in. So if you like the sound of that, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get straight into the video. All right, so overall market, I am still bullish. Okay, I'm still bullish. Okay, until I get confirmation on downside, I am still bullish. And I do think NASDAQ still has a little more room to at least 17,700. Okay. Now, as you guys can see, we have this yellow line here. This is our 4-hour trend. We tried to break above it and we went right back below it. So that's some type of, that's a little confirmation there that we may see a little downside, but I'm still not convinced. I still think we got a little more juice in us and we could potentially see a move to 17,700. And then from there, we'll see where it goes. It could reject or it could just sit here around this area. Let me get rid of this. It could just sit here around this area and then we just somehow go down tomorrow morning or whatever, sometime this week. Okay. So again, I'm not looking to call the top or anything. A lot of these YouTubers are trying to call the top. They've been calling it for weeks and months straight, and the top just hasn't came. And I genuinely feel sorry for a lot of the new traders who just watch these YouTubers and these Twitter posts and they keep calling the top because I'm assuming that if they're constantly trying to call the top, then they got people in their discourse taking puts over and over and over until the top comes in, and they're constantly losing trades. It's absolutely insane to me how these guys are constantly getting views and constantly getting members and things like that is beyond me, but by all means. Now I will give you guys a cheat code. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys a cheat code. If the person you're following, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, whatever the case may be, if the person you're following doesn't have the 200 SMA on their chart, VWAP, I'll even take 200 EMA, if they don't have 200 something on their chart, run. Okay, simply run. And the reason being is if you don't see anything else on a hedge fund's chart, they're going to have the 200 SMA or VWAP, whatever, on their chart. Simple as that. Okay, so if you don't see that, run. But that's my little rant from there. Regardless, again, bullish overall until proven otherwise. All right. As you guys can see, even on NASDAQ on a daily chart, we have a head and shoulders pattern. So the fact that people were trying to call the top here, I mean, and then we had a bullish engulfing pattern breaking out of daily resistance. I mean, and people are calling top here. So it's absolutely insane. Okay, so just be careful when you're following these people. A lot of them just have no clue what they're talking about. A lot of them are new to the scene. They figured out how to draw some lines, and now all of a sudden they're just pro traders. Okay, it's just insane to me. But yeah, so that's my little rant from there. Still bullish. 17,700. We could get that pre market. We could get that after hours. We'll see, okay? And then from there, we'll just simply go from there and look for some type of confirmation from there as far as if we see any downside coming up. Now, looking at Tesla, let's talk about Tesla. So, overall, still bearish on Tesla. I mean, I called it last video. I called it last video. So if you follow last video and you didn't fall for this trap here where it broke out of this bull flag, if you didn't fall for this, congratulations. If you paid attention to last video and you didn't fall for this, congratulations. You saved yourself a lot of headaches. Okay, you would have been panicking. Okay, you would have been panicking. And what I said last video is that Tesla could break out of this bull flag, but don't fall for it because there is a 4-hour trend here. That is a fake breakout. Okay, that is a fake breakout. You'll be surprised how many YouTubers are out here saying fake breakout when it's not a fake breakout. Okay, so that is a fake breakout. This is a fake breakout. So Tesla tried to break out, absolutely rejected the 4-hour trend. It's probably another trend here, maybe the 2-hour, 1 hour, something like that. But broke out, rejected it. Now we're back in this channel. All right. So as far as levels go towards the downside, I am looking at 206. We break below 206. I'm looking at 205. I mean, not 205, 202.5, 203 range, 198. and the lowest I'm looking at is 194. If Tesla just so happens to hit 194, I'll show you guys where I got that 194 level from. If Tesla just so happens to go to 194, there's potential buying opportunity there. My recommendation is buy shares. I don't want to necessarily say trade it, but maybe 194 is a good level. And the reason why is, as you guys can see, this circle here, this weekly wick goes all the way down to 194. If we break below 194, it could get ugly on Tesla. All right. Even if we're looking at the monthly. Okay. If we're looking at the monthly, as you guys can see, support, support, and we could get into this zone here. Maybe we retest this zone all the way to 180 before going back up on Tesla. Now, people are saying this is inverse head and shoulders. I mean, I could kind of see the vision. It's just not clean enough for me, but I can't see it. If it does break out, I wouldn't be surprised. Like if it's Tesla. Okay, it's still Tesla at the end of the day. It's still a big name. It's just trash right now. Okay, it just got a lot of trash news behind it right now. So again, I would be looking for 194 from Tesla before I look for any type of opportunity to buy. Now, again, my rules still stand as far as upside to 230. If we break out of here, okay, if we break this bull flag again and we get rid of these sellers here and we break out of this 4-hour trend, then I will look for some type of upside to maybe 230 on Tesla. But until then, I'm just not looking at it because again, look here. Sellers are here, sellers are here. Okay? So again, and if we do get rid of these sellers, chances are we're breaking above this 4-hour trend. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. Hopefully you paid attention to the last video, and hopefully it saved you a lot of headaches. Okay, so next stock I'm looking at is Intel. All right, I don't trade Intel like that. This is probably like the first time I've ever traded Intel. And me personally, it just looks good. Okay, it just really looks good. I did alert this to the group. We did like 50 calls for February 2nd next week. So we may run this into earnings. My target is 52. If we somehow get to at least 50 or 51 prior to earnings, then I'm exiting this play. Okay. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Not only that, we do have a gap at around, let's actually mark this out. We have a gap at around 50, so I will also be looking for that to be filled. But Intel just doesn't do a lot as far as movement go, and it's pretty boring. So that's probably why I don't trade it like that. Now I will say that I did call a trade earlier, and Intel like dropped all the way below this 4-hour trend. Yellow lines are 4-hour trends for me. It dropped below this 4 hour. All right, let's get rid of this because it's annoying. It dropped below this 4-hour trend. It dropped all the way to 47.6, and then we entered a trade at around 48.3. So that was what I was looking at as far as Intel. We entered the 50 calls at around 48.3. So we broke below it, we rejected, and then we headed back up. Now, what I will say is that Intel could pull one of these moves where it just consolidates over and over and over until maybe earnings or after earnings. It does have a history of kind of like making its move after earnings, but it could just trade in this channel. Maybe it runs all the way to 55, which is our monthly trend. White lines are monthly trend levels for me. Monthly resistance, I mean, and monthly trend are white lines. But regardless, we just trade in this channel all the way up to 55, or we just absolutely just break out of here, hit 55, and then from there, who knows? Okay. So that's what I'm looking at as far as Intel goes. It looks really good, and I think they had good news yesterday. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they had some type of good news yesterday. Not only that, but semiconductors are just doing really good. So I'm just going to take that as another form of confirmation that Intel may catch up. And when I say catch up, I don't mean like $600. I just mean like a small move to the upside. All right. So that's my thoughts on Intel. IWM just, I think I went over this last video. I'm not too sure. Pretty sure I went over this last video. But IWM just looks really, really good as far as downside go. It was looking good for upside. If we look at this pattern here on the 4-hour chart, this is a dark cloud cover right here, and which is a bearish pattern. Again, our white lines are our monthly trends. We tried to break above it. We rejected the 4-hour trend and we broke back below it. And right now we're kind of like hugging it. So my expectation is probably heading into tomorrow that the IWM can drop down further. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But right now, it's just not looking too good. And if it does drop down further, we could form an inverse head and shoulders pattern here at around 193, 192.5, and then before heading back up. Now, I will say, okay, I will say that there's a lot of, and there's a gap fill right here, by the way, but there's a lot of potential on IWM dropping down to 185. Okay, I had that as a price target about a week ago, and the reason being is if we look at the weekly chart, if we look at, oh God, this looks terrible. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this, but if we look at the weekly chart, there was a triple top right here. Look at this thing, one, two, three, and then we tried to break above the triple top, and we failed. Okay, we failed. Okay, ultimately we got here, and we rejected here, and we rejected our weekly supply and demand zone, and now we are dropping back below our monthly support, monthly trend, whatever you want to call it. All right. And now we're retesting that, and we have potential to drop back down. Now, I'm going to tell you guys where I got my 185 target. Again, let's get rid of all this. So, as far as my 185 target, again, I don't, it may not hit. Okay, it's a high chance it may not hit. But once we broke back below this monthly support here, there is a possibility that we come back down to retest this 200 SMA. Okay, but we want to wait on confirmation. For now, my first targets is 193, 192.5. That's all I'm really looking at for short term right now. But if we just so happen to fail this pattern or this head and shoulders pattern, like it just doesn't happen at all, like we don't even form it, we just break down completely, then I will consider more downside on IWM. All right. So that's really all I have. Hopefully you guys got something out this video. If you want my signals, if you want my call outs, we do crypto, we do Forex, we do stocks. You get my charts. You get to be able to copy my charts, all that fun stuff. Link is in the description below. If you want access to my indicators, link is also in the description below. And that's all I have. Every Friday, we're going to do a recap video on all the plays that I put out in Discord. So be on the lookout for that. But that's about it. So until next time, have a good one, traders.